I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, I'm speaking with Khalil Nikkhessal. He is an author who has written a thought-provoking book. It is called A Flame of Fire, a story of my own identity and what it means to be a minority in Iran. This is a deeply personal memoir offering a vivid exploration of religious persecution, the power of determination, and the journey of success against oppressive odds. We're delighted to have Khalil in the spotlight today. We thank the folks at Authors Reputation Press for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Khalil, thanks so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Glad to have you. Tell the folks at home what your book, A Flame of Fire, is about.
Motivation for writing this book was to inform the people that an intolerant religious regime is in the other part of the world. In there, you may be an intelligent and helpful person, but if you are a minority, your talent will be not recognized. You will always be a second-class citizen without any proper job or higher education, unless you can take refuge abroad. There is no rule for reason and consistency. You know, prejudices in general, racial, religious, even intellectual, burn and destroy core values, creating false stereotypes. The flame of fire shows just one person's issue or one person's flames in a wildfire of drama and prejudices.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand the problems of being a minority in Iran, and your book has really shed light on that. How old were you when you escaped Iran, when you came to the United States?
I was 70 years old when I came to the United States. I studied in Germany. I was there in 12 years and then returned to Iran. I was 30 years in Iran and I worked there. I make a factory and everything. And now I am in the United States.
Yeah. Now, has your experience been very positive here in the United States? Do you feel you've been accepted into the community well?
Of course, you know, immigration has always been recurring pattern throughout the history. Immigration is a human instinct if there is a push factor. My push factor was the religious prejudice. If you limited immigration, you limit the human instinct. Life follows a rule, pre or be pre, and run away from prejudice is a natural. So I support the immigration and citizenship.
I think almost all Americans from one generation or another came here because their people were being persecuted, whether you're Irish, whether you're Italian, whether you're English, whatever it is, whether you're Mexican, people are escaping poverty and people are escaping persecution. And that's what makes this country so great, is because you have so many different cultures here and so unique. You don't see it in other countries.
Actually, I was at the time where in Europe, I saw all the, because my job was repairing engineering and saw everywhere, and I was electronic engineer, and I chose United States to live. That is democracy, secularism, and freedom.
Absolutely. What made you decide to write this book, A Flame of Fire?
When I came to America, I was depressed, and the memory of my past bothered me. I started to write this and translated to English and corrected many times. This was that I wrote this book, and I think when you carried your memories, you would bend your back under them. However, if you put them under your foot, your height will be taller. So I, one after other, bring it out of my heart and put it under my foot to forget them all. That was, I wrote this book and I published it.
What are you hoping people will learn from your book?
Life, and only life, with its good and bad memories.
Yeah.
That is, and know how the people are in other countries, living in other countries, and see what the difficulty, and everywhere is not freedom, everywhere is not goodness, everybody is not the same, all the nation is also not the same, and that is it. The people should know everything about the other countries, other culture, and this is a way that tell you a story about my childhood. On the way to my elementary school was a marketplace, a small bazaar. Several shops were both sides of that market, like grocery, fruit, butcher, and bakery. I always panicked there and ran from the beginning to the end so no one would hurt me. One day, I think I was 8 or 9 years old, when I came home from school and was running past throughout that market. On the way, suddenly a salad bag thrown at me. I fell and my pants turned. Then they laugh at me, point at me. That was an example of aggression toward minority in Iran.
Amazing. Amazing. And were these children who were treating you like this, or adults?
But the children in the way to my elementary school was really bothered me all the time. And of course, in my elementary school was in Yazd, very religious city in Iran at that time, many years ago, 70. I don't know now, how is it? After that, when we leave Yazd and move to Shiraz, that was, and my high school was much better, and the people of the Shiraz was better.
Do you have any hope for Iran? Do you feel that Iran one day might be a country that has more freedom?
I hope, the woman life freedom movement now happened. This is a cultural movement, and the people of Iran wants better life and more freedom under the rule of law, because now is a lot of protest and is started in Iran, and because their leaders were cruel and bloodthirsty and suppressed them many times. I hope they find the way, and through the study and reflection, they may gain borders which burns and cuts as a mountain sword and move forward to prosperity and better life.
Mm.
I hope they will succeed and win.
How has your book been received? Have people that you know back in Iran read it? Are they able to read it in Iran?
I write, although I have the Farsi version, I changed the names actually, and I have sent them to in Iran, and I'm writing the book called Fire Under Ashes. That is a proverb, says that when somebody is very angry and could not express his anger at that moment, he put himself on the shelter and prepare himself to be able to show it. The people says someone is like fire under ashes. The fire cannot be seen under ashes, but had it heat and burning. I addressing and investigating those people's anger from this bloodthirsty mullahs regime in Iran. Also, I describing this issue and writing about superstition and ignorant society, and how it could change into intellectual community. Because I believe it, with the education, training, and proper guidance, the culture of the nation can be changed. Now the Renaissance in Iran, that will be happened. And that is, this book describes this. And
amazing.
And I hope that will, because is it describing something that is new, happened in Iran, and now is it? I hope, I don't know, is it something?
Absolutely. What was it like writing the book? Was it a painful journey, putting it down on paper?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. And the Renaissance happened when occurring something bad before. And the people understanding that is so, and that will be coming. At the time, now in Iran, experience from the fire, from the everything, badness, and now will coming to the better life. And the youth of Iran, they are going to be understand they're hoping to and democracies.
Are you planning to do any more writing?
I'm writing many articles in Farsi and English in different newspapers. And I wrote also the screenplay. So, when I will finish first this book, I don't know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have you thought about A Flame of Fire being turned into a movie, whether it's a documentary or a series?
I thought always the life is a screenplay, is, and my book is a fact of it. I hope, I don't know, one day maybe I don't know, really not. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope so, because I think it would be very, very informative to the people of America and beyond to find out what the minority experience is in other countries. People complain about the USA. It's not perfect, no doubt, but compared to other countries, we got it pretty good here.
Mhm.
That's for sure. That's for
That's
sure.
true, yeah.
This book that Khalil Nikkhessal has written is a page turner. It's a very, very provocative memoir. It is called A Flame of Fire, a story of my own identity and what it means to be a minority in Iran. It's essential reading for anyone who wants to know more about the world we live in and more about this experience, this journey that we all travel, this road of life. Khalil, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is all mine. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.